This video is all about word classes in English. In older models of grammar, word classes were often called parts of speech. Many languages, however, are not only used orally, but also in writing and other systems of communication, such as signing. So, we'll stick to the term word classes in this video. There are 9 altogether. Many English users are familiar with word classes including nouns, verbs, and adjectives. English also uses words classed as adverbs, prepositions, conjunctions, determiners, pronouns, and interjections. Linguists divide these word classes into 2 overarching categories. We have the open class or lexical category of words, which is made up of nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, and interjections. This class contains words that have substantial meanings, words like sky, cloudy, and floating. The open class is made up of thousands upon thousands of words. It absorbs new words all the time and loses old ones on a never-ending basis too. So, the open class is vast, it's malleable, and it's constantly evolving. We also have the closed class or function category of words, which contains pronouns, prepositions, conjunctions, and determiners. This class is home to words that have much more abstract or functional meanings, words like they, above, because, and this. The closed class is made up of only several hundred words. It rarely absorbs new words or loses old ones, and the words it does contain rarely change form or evolve in their meaning. So the closed class is comparatively small, it's much more rigid, and it's very slow to change. If you've studied English grammar before, you might be familiar with definitions such as a noun is a naming word, or a verb is a doing word, and an adjective is a describing word. These definitions are called notional definitions because they're based on simple ideas or notions about what words mean. For example, if a word seems to convey an action, we'd logically want to put it into the verb category. Notional definitions are a helpful place to start, but we can better understand why words belong to a particular class or category when we define them by their form, their frame, and their function. Form means a word's shape, or how we build them and bend them. Nouns, for example, often change shape by taking plural endings. The singular cat becomes cats, singular woman becomes women, and so on. Verbs, on the other hand, change form to show tense. Today I write, but yesterday I wrote, and over the course of the week I have written. Adjectives can usually appear in shades or grades, as in big, bigger, and biggest. That's what form means, otherwise known as morphology. Frame means the position a word can fill in a phrase or clause. For example, a determiner, like the definite article the, always sits before a noun at the start of a noun phrase. The puppy, the half-finished draft. An adverb can sit on either side of a verb. She writes beautifully. They desperately tried to finish their draft. These positions in a phrase or sentence are otherwise called syntax. And lastly, function refers to what job a word is performing in a phrase or sentence. For example, in a sentence like, I finished my assignment at midnight, the preposition at introduces a noun, midnight, which helps give the action of the verb specificity, a position in time. When did I finish my draft? At midnight. This is a job prepositions often perform. We can use information about a word's job as another clue when deciding what kind of class it belongs to in a particular phrase or clause. English is what we call an analytic language, which means it relies mostly on word order rather than inflection or word form to show relationships between words. Other languages, what we call synthetic languages, use morphemes and agglutination to show which words are doing different jobs. Which words are functioning as a sentence subject, for instance, or which ones are functioning as the direct object. Classical Latin was a synthetic language. Russian, Finnish, and Turkish are modern synthetic languages. Older varieties of English were also more synthetic than they are now, using word form as well as word order to create sense or meaning. Modern English relies mostly on the sequence or arrangement of words to make functions and meanings clear. In The Cat Chased the Dog, it's word order that tells us who did what to whom. If we reversed that order, the dog chased the cat, we'd produce a different meaning. So, by looking at words in context, we can use clues about their form, frame, and function to determine which class or category they should belong to. These are called formal definitions rather than notional definitions because they rely on a word's shape, position, and job to determine their category rather than what meanings they might gesture to. Each English word class behaves in different ways, and it's this knowledge that helps us understand why cry is a verb in a sentence like, "Don't cry over spilt milk," but a noun in a sentence like, "I heard a loud cry from the kitchen." Looking at words through a formal lens does take time and patience, but these definitions will help you more accurately identify words in context and help you understand the way writers build sentences.